guys know, it is Drunken Chat, son.
Like the man says, it is Drunken Chat, son. Welcome, everybody. I am your host, Chitlins, Greens, and Cornbread on the Comic Crusaders Network. Proud to have with me one of the main men for Drunken Chat, son. How's it going, Sir Christopher, the greatest? What's up, baby?
What's going on, my man? I'm ready to get this started, dude. It's been a nice week for the most off, dude. I'm kind of excited for a few things, man.
Yeah, if you keep your ears to the ground, a lot of stuff circulating, a lot of stuff to think about. Um, and we're going to get into that. Hopefully, we will not have to do a 5-hour podcast today, and it will be all right. That was kind of it's like at that because you know what at 5 hours you might as well do 8 hours like we used to do like way back in the day when we started that shit, you know. Uh, 5 hours that was wild, and I don't even remember what we were talking about. So hopefully I didn't make too much of an ass out of myself. I don't even think I was drinking that hard, so that's crazy. All right, but yeah, here we go, man. Freaking, let's get right into it. We can we can. I need to get set up, but I think we can just go ahead and start talking, man. Freaking, look, the Marvel Universe, they're still going with this whole thing, and they decided to bring back some of the stuff that freaking works, right? Um, Daredevil, right? Daredevil Born Again. We've been talking about this for a little while. I haven't watched this week's joint yet, but what did you feel about this one?
I'm
How,
not
did-
gonna
how did it
lie.
hit you?
I felt like this episode was off the chain, bro. Like this episode right here, dude. It kind of had that kind of like a couple of payoffs that we kind of been waiting for through the entire series.
Yeah,
We've been kind of waiting for Kingpin and Daredevil to kind of cross paths again, and they finally do in this episode. And then not only that, but we haven't seen Bullseye since episode one, and he makes his return in this episode as well. So it's like the way they're leading up to the finale, um, is crazy because like at the very end of the episode, they left us on kind of a cliffhanger, like
yeah,
a big WTF moment, like what's gonna happen? Like, are we gonna get like a time jump in the next episode or what? Because how it ended, Matt, he doesn't have any type of healing powers. He doesn't have any type of, you know, anything that basically can make him heal fast, right? He just has his sonar vision, reflexes, and he can fight, right?
yeah.
So it's like after we see what takes place towards the end of that episode, it was like a cliffhanger.
Right.
Is Matt, it basically left us at, is Matt gonna survive or is he not, even though we
Right.
know he is.
And and
That's
we,
how
and
they
we know,
ended.
yeah, because we are getting a season 2 of the Daredevil Born Again and some other stuff. But where it gets interesting is that we do know that with news around and the way that the comics are going, there's a direction that you're trying to pull it. Um, and then what we haven't seen so far is Elektra, right? Because there was certain stuff that happened in the past in the MCU. But this that opens it up. Hey, if we can, let's bring her back and let's show her how she keeps coming back and doing all this other stuff. Um, but before I get on to my drunken rant and everything, let's go ahead if we can get a shout out to some of our listeners that are in here right now with us. GT Comics, how's it going? Derek Neiman, Wookie Fowler, what's up, everyone? And he says, "Hey, I can remember when the show was still going on when the same sun came up, right?" And that's for real. That's a for real because there used to be a time when we used to have like 20 people on, right? And then I would start off the show, and they would go ahead and get on and do their thing, and I would go to sleep. I sure shit would just go to sleep, just and then wake up and then come back in on the show and then fucking finish the show off. Right? That's how fucking crazy our shit was. We were trying to do this shit for real, for real. But yeah, 8 hours. That was did a whole bunch of shows like that. Comic Chuff, he says we need the old school drinking chat. Just saying, those were the good days, man. But it looks like, man, we're all getting older. It looks like I'm the only one still, no, drinking the way I used to because I took the correct route of taking some time off. Drunken strikes, yes sir. And he says also that he still needs to finish last week's episode. So much stuff to absorb from Gary Monster's hands, comic perspective. Yes, sir. Yeah, he won't be on this week, so he'll give you at least a week to rest, time to catch up on that episode. Please do, um, and please pass and share that episode on to everybody else. I'm trying to get us back up to 1,000 views. That would be a really great thing. We're up to 500, which is really good. I would like to see us get back up to 1,000 views. Um, but yeah, man, freaking, I feel like for Daredevil Born Again, I feel like we're back into some of the old cinematography that got a lot of people hooked and loving. And I'm talking about outer periphery people to like freaking the comic world, right? In between this, the Jessica Jones stuff, the Power Man stuff. People hated Iron Fist stuff, but this was one of those Grady stuff where people was like, "Oh shit, it's just not tights and capes in this motherfucker. It's actually
Yeah,
like real freaking stuff." So I
the
feel
real
like
talk.
this is, yeah, I feel like this was, I feel like this season has been good. I really like the way they did the Wilson Fisk mayor thing, right? Where they're saying, "All right, he's a powerful man and he has some connections, but this is the way politics really works." you know, this is the way stuff really goes down, right? And no matter how powerful he is, right, and the way he's putting his own gusto into it, there's still that one motherfucker that's supposed to be on your side and just fucks it up for everybody. Um, and then on the, and then with on the Daredevil side, right, just so many mysteries of like, hey, who actually killed this fucking dude, right? I'm trying to, who actually killed this fucking dude? Because it wasn't Punisher, right? My wife sure thought it was like Punisher. No, it might be somebody freaking else. Who's that dude looking in the fucking corner? There's a lot of stuff that they haven't answered yet. That they, it looks like they'll probably pull off in season 2 of the Born Again, and I think it's good. It's back to where it was, where you want to, um what do you call it when you watch a whole bunch of episodes at once?
You know, at the binge
Or
watch.
yeah, binge watch. There you go, binge watch, right? Um, because I remember back in the day when I watched it by itself, right, and it was okay. But then when I rewatched it with my wife and we binged it, it was like, oh, okay, this is actually a pretty good show. You just can't freaking. It's not a freaking week by week show. It's one of those things where I'm pretty sure if I binge it again, I would actually get to like it because I would probably understand a lot more about what's going to happen and what's going on. Um,
And then not only that, but next week we got the finale, and they have already teed me just. I'm geeked for this finale because we're finally gonna get the duo brutal fucking people up episode that we've been waiting for. All right,
mm,
so it's like they're gonna end the season on a great note. And then I also want to know that whatever happens in next week's episode, I'm pretty sure it's going to lead into the Punisher special because we have that next year as well. So, another thing that people should like, I've seen sales for it recently, and I have seen quite a few people watching it, but it's not an expensive run. So if you want it, you can still get it about now. But by season 2, Shadowlands will probably be up there, and that's mainly because, of course, we already saw him in the black suit.
mm,
So a lot of people are already on it, and a lot of people, are looking at it now. So, you know, I'm just excited for next week's episode above all else, and then the Punisher show that follows that feature presentation style. So,
right. So for me, that might be, that's going to be a choice point where do I watch this week's episode or do I wait till next week's final episode and then rewatch it all the way up to the freaking end. I think that might be something that I wanted to
I
do.
mean, that'd be pretty cool if you start all the way at the very beginning and watch all the way up to next week's episode. That'd be the way to do it. But if you're not going to do that, I would definitely say watch that last episode because not only did it like give us straight up Mayor Fisk Kingpin vibes, and the only run that I thought about during this episode was the entire Devil's Reign. Okay,
Mm,
that's all I was thinking about. So, of course, you know me, I got my short box ready. And when the finale happens, I'm going to drop a whole lot of Devil's Reign for people to check out, right? And I'm just actually hoping that this isn't just going to end in season two. I was really hoping that we would dig a little bit more into it. Maybe if we don't now, maybe later on. But I definitely want to see some of the other elements out of Devil's Reign that I feel like they can very well easily bring to the screen, you know, because I feel like the task force is gonna get whacked in this next episode, and I really think that they're gonna possibly start bringing villains in to make kind of that Thunderbolts rendition of Kingpin's team. All right, with actual supervillains, because
right.
it's just going in that direction to me.
Yeah, and that's definitely something that I do want to look forward to. Is who are they going to mention that's going to make you enticed to see the rest of the MCU stuff? So it can be the villains, or they might decide to go with some of the new younger heroes that are out there that we know or in the precipice of actually coming in. So man, it's gonna be interesting. So yeah, I think I might actually do that. Rewatch it all. Hold off on this week's and just watch it all in one freaking piece to, all the way to the end. Because I tell you what, freaking the one show that I was binge watching this weekend was The Residents. Right, not a superhero joint. It's just a who done it. Right. It was with the girl from you probably may have not watched it because it was before your time. Orange is the New Black. The crazy eyes. Crazy eyes from Orange is the New Black, right? But now she's a detective. And but she's one of those eccentric detectives, right? She's on the spectrum. She's on a freaking spectrum, and she like the little shit. She notices, and she doesn't know how to categorize it, and it's there. And let me tell you, man, freaking watching that all in one thing is a lot easier and a lot better to connect everything than just trying. Okay, I'm watching this, and then I gotta wait till another freaking week. Nah, fuck that. I need to watch it all in one freaking piece. Shout out to Daniel Berry Sports Highlights. James Carter says, getting hyped watching season two, production photos of Bullseye and Daredevil in opposing black suits. Then Toy Time Studio says, Daredevil has been dope, leading to this week's suspense at all high levels and everything tied together. A lot of Matt Murdock story and Laura League stuff, but he finally let himself do Daredevil again. Damn, it felt good. Kingpin is amazing. So much good acting in this. But
Indeed.
he thinks that there could have been a lot more Punisher.
Yeah, you know,
Yeah.
when it comes to Punisher though, I feel like um we kind of already know his story, and in order to do like something more with him, I just feel like I think they held him back a little bit because I feel like they want to tell another story with him. We haven't seen some of his rogues galleries of villains, right? So, in my personal opinion, I thought that in the feature presentation that we're getting, perhaps we're going to meet Jigsaw, or perhaps we're going to get the period of time that we have all been wanting to see, which is the 5 year period blip time.
Mm.
And it would be amazing if we were able to see the Punisher go throughout that 5 year blip period, not only teaching Hawkeye how to be an anti hero and very vigilant in a way, but he would be the perfect person to follow to see that 5 year blip time period and what he was doing along with some of the other ground level heroes at that time. Because we already know what most of the other ones were doing, you know. Thor was off, fucking off, getting drunk and fat, right?
Hmm.
Everybody kind of had a piece of that story already told, but the people that we never ever learned about and what they were doing is all your Daredevil Defenders related characters. So I think he would be perfect to do that with.
Okay. Well, we'll see if they ever go to decide to do that stuff. We the chat.
I mean,
Storytime Studios also says that he thinks the task force should have been the Punisher logo more to give more motive for Punisher to reemerge and set these wannabes straight. But Swordsman is the one who trained Hawkeye. But you're right, Chris. Let's dig into that blip a little bit. Yeah, it is kind of kind of call up my gut. Like now we're just back to like how it was, right? We're just gonna act like that blip didn't freaking happen.
yeah,
Um,
and you had a lot of characters that you could explore different things with. Hawkeye gave us a little bit of the crime bosses when he was basically slaughtering Yakuza and the different types of gangs that were still around. So I just feel like I'm pretty sure the Punisher was doing the same thing if he didn't get blipped himself, right? So it's just a perfect opportunity for them to do that. Or they can show us something in the 5 year blip and then also give us Jigsaw and let that be another villain or something he has to overcome. Because I mean, if we're being for real, Punisher has some wild rogues gallery villains, and I want to see some of those. So,
yeah, sounds good. All right, how about we move on to the next who to do?
man, Styles so serious. What up, man?
Um, so you sent me something interesting today about Walmart. So McFarlane Toys has this new Supergirl toy that's supposed to come out, and they had apparently sent a shipment, a huge shipment, to freaking the warehouse for Walmart. And apparently there is stolen. I haven't heard whether it was like a stick up robbery or what the fuck. But apparently there's a whole bunch of inventory just out there freaking stolen. Um, Go ahead, man. Freaking tell us,
I just
tell us.
think it's crazy and it couldn't come at a worse time because Walmart is like one of the main distributors for these toys, right? And with a whole batch of them going missing, that just screwed over a lot of people. And with the money that is to be made on the aftermarket, I started to feel like, okay, well, we already know that some people hold on to these things and flip them and make good money off of it, right? But I'm also starting to feel like these companies are becoming aware of that and have been, and now it's like they kind of want in on that money. So who's to say a whole shipment goes missing, but then all of a sudden, you got them flooded on eBay from one person that has it listed that they have 25 plus because I've seen things like this now. So, it just has my mind all over the place because people basically lost their pre-orders due to this and they're supposed to be investigating it right now. So I just find it crazy, that a whole shipment is just gone. You
A
know,
whole shipment. Yeah.
whole shipment.
Well, no. Also, got to remember, and people they never got back to us on what the fuck was going on with this. Ultimate Black Panther #1.
Mhm.
There's 50,000 copies that's out there.
See,
Gone.
and it's just insane to me because now you got to think about it from a seller's perspective, right? Um, Now, usually for other people, this would mean business is about to be booming for you
Yep.
because now Walmart can't fill those orders at that retail price. So most of everywhere this is sold out. I mean, at a distribution level, you showed me it's sold out. So now it's gonna get like a little weird now because I'm pretty sure there's definitely not enough to go around. If the other stores have already sold out, the distribution has sold out, and now they lose a truck. So I'm expecting this figure itself to go up in price and in value, and it's not going to take long for it to happen. So as soon as you start seeing people receiving their pre-orders and all that, now you're going to have a whole crowd of people that's looking for it that had it pre-ordered already. You know what I
Yep.
mean? So the price on that thing is about to shoot through the roof just because of that shipment. And those shipments were due out all over across the country. This wasn't just a one state shipment. This wasn't a one city shipment. This was supposed to be the supply for the whole country.
It says Toy Time Studios is asking, is the figure still available on the website? Um, I think he means the Walmart website. I'm not sure.
No,
I
what they
think.
said is that they had already, because the timing was near, they just got a hold of them. So they made shipping labels for these things April 7th because they were expecting them within a couple of weeks and they were going to start shipping the orders out. So now they have basically said that, you know, since that's not going to happen and they're launching a full scale investigation, the police are, that they basically let everybody down today and said, hey, we can't fill your pre orders no matter what. And we're going to cancel the majority of them basically. McFarland is like one of the first places that it sold out. The only other two places that I would have thought that maybe they'll be up there is Big Bad Toy Store and maybe Entertainment Earth, but I doubt it because um, it's been sold out ever since they dropped it. Let's see, the Comic Chef. Is it Walmart?
He's saying so. The comic chef says that his aunt works at Walmart, and that tells him that the staff is all involved in collectibles. They have scalpers waiting outside, and some shady stuff happens all the time.
Yeah, now this is true, and this is like on a scale that we kind of never seen before. Before, yeah, you would have guys showing up to buy the whole case out, right? But now it's like you're not even getting a chance to buy that case anymore because 9 times out of 10, the employee already bought them all. So that's the same thing for Pokemon. I mean, I live next to a Target and a Walmart. And, when I was working up at the shop, the Target is in our parking lot. So, of course, I'd go every day, about 2, 3 times a day. I would ask them for things that I know are supposed to be coming. And then when it comes to the day of it being released, I get the same runaround every time, which is, oh no, we don't have it anymore. They're already gone. Well, how are they already gone if I asked for it yesterday night and now I'm here this morning asking for it again? And you're telling me it's gone now, right? So that only leaves, the employees to be purchasing this stuff. And I've noticed that now, where all these employees at these different Targets, Walmarts, GameStop, you name it, they are basically they have learned this collectibles game now. So
Yep.
now it's like becoming just absolute insanity to buy some of these things. Like, I'll give you a couple examples. Target exclusives, non existent. Don't even think about it unless you pre order it. And their pre ordering is horrible because not only do you have to put a credit card on file when they initially charge it, but then they charge you again. So to your bank, it looks like you were charged twice. And if your bank denies that second charge, they cancel your pre order. And then, of course, with all the people that have bots on the websites now, that thing is gone within an instance. You don't even really get a chance to fix it. You know what I mean? So it's an insane thing right now, dude.
Toy Time Studios says, "Hey man, the freaking items are not even making it to the shelves. Always check under the shelves. Employees stash it to sometimes buy later. Always ask queues sometimes to keep the new items in the back." So it all depends. So the biggest market where this is going crazy is the Pokemon cards and the sports cards. Those are not supposed to be kept in the back. The KMB is the KMB or the KMG employees that stock that stuff are supposed to come right in and put it right there on the freaking shelves. They're not supposed to allow that shit to go in the freaking back, right? Um, so if it is in the back somehow, then shit, somebody needs to get freaking fired.
Yeah, and
Um,
that, hey man, that's all these stores now because like when it comes to the figures, Pokemon, it really doesn't matter what it is. They're keeping it behind the counter or they're keeping it in the back. And you have to actually go in and ask for it. And then when you do that, it's now up to that employee's discretion on whether they feel lazy today or not and if they feel like going to get it. You can
yeah.
have your app where where you can see the stock in the inventory right in your hand and it could say +6 and they'll still tell you they don't have it. So
The Toy Time Studio says, I found a Target and Walmart that's pretty much untouched by collectors in an area with mostly seniors. That's a good shout out. Yep. I am also in an area like that where, when everybody was racking for cars and toys and stuff, I just walked right in and stuff was just right there, man. Um, and even if there are scalpers, right, sometimes those scalpers are just not up on game to know what they should actually be looking forward to. The employers are definitely scamming for sure. I do want to go back to that one comment because I didn't touch on that one piece. He says he always check under the shelves. So what he means by that, because I've also seen it on social media, is that so there's the shelf, right? Then there's the floor part of the shelf. So what you got to do is unhinge the shelf, right? You got to like kind of break it open and then look at it. There's like normal dust bunnies and stuff, but sometimes you will also find this inventory, just shit, just like there, right?
oh yeah, dude,
Um,
trust me, I know. I've been checking those things for years, dude, because I caught on a long time ago on it. I mean, I found whole underneath the shelves filled with Pokemon cards, Marvel Legends, all type of Platinum Series McFarlane figures, dude. Yeah, sometimes you can come up and it's Christmas under them shelves.
yeah. Um, which then begs the question: what in the fuck? Because the K and B representative, excuse me, this K and G representative comes back in and is supposed to do the inventory. Are they just not checking for that shit when they come back in to see how much was actually sold or what?
No, they just
Or
mark it as stolen. That's what she told me. Cause I'll go in and then I'll show them like, hey, dude, it says you got 3 of these in stock, right? Do you mind checking the back for me? And usually, what they do is Target, especially, they carry around that little keypad, little smart device, and they look it up because every Target, their entire arrangement in the back is when a truck comes in, they have these plots of area that's labeled on the floor. So it's like one through whatever, A through whatever, and so on and so forth, so that they have an easier time locating it. And that way, Target knows what stuff is getting out to the floor in a timely fashion or not. So I can tell them the plot and everything like, hey, dude, it's supposed to be at A2, and it says you have a case of them. So it's supposed to be 6 back there and they will go back there and look, but then most of the time they'll come back and say, "Oh well, I remember these. I put these on the shelf last week, and it says we have them, but I can't find them." So then,
mm,
after so long, they mark it off as stolen.
Dwayne Scott saying that is how they do it with Hot Wheels and i.e. treasure hunts and super treasure hunts. So I'm not sure what a treasure hunt is, but I do know what Hot Wheels are. If you guys need freaking Hot Wheels, let me know. I got all that stuff. I got the tracks and freaking cars and all that stuff. And then Toy Time says that some of these targets put limits of three per guest per household total. So I got to scan different outfits and keep going back on different lines with different cashiers in order to buy stuff I want. Yeah, man, it was kind of rough for a while because for sports cars, they were like one per, and I was trying to buy a bunch of baseball stuff. They were like one per, and I was like, well, what are you talking about? It was like, no, one per sport. I was like, what? What are you talking about? So yeah, it gets pretty rough out there, man.
Here, I got a little tip for you guys. So instead of doing all that and changing outfits 3 or 4 times in a day, all you got to do is find it, whatever department of whatever item you're looking for, meet the manager of that store, and buy them lunch. Buy them lunch without asking them for shit. And I guarantee you, when that comes in, I'm pretty sure she's gonna give you first dibs because I literally have the numbers of every manager, each department of Target in my phone. So when I want something now, what I usually do is I hit the manager up first and I just say, "Hey, I'm looking for these." And then when she sees them, she hits me back and I go pick them up. So that's just a little tip because I don't know if they're legally allowed to do it, but I definitely know they do.
Right. All right, let's move on to our next deal.
Yeah, I wanted to talk about this because I found it interesting that we're due for this new Hulk character. Now, I didn't get a chance to read her name or anything. All I know is that she'll be appearing in Miles Morales' Spider Man. I believe it's issue 32 or 33. And yeah, we got this new Hulk character. Now, I'm not going to lie. So far, the design of her is like pretty spot on for me. She kind of reminds me of the original Ultimate Universe Hulk with that kind of like grayish greenish skin and dark green hair. But I'm just interested in it because I read another article earlier this week where apparently some insiders said that Henry Cavill will possibly be coming back to play Wolverine in World War Hulk. Now, if you've been paying attention like I have in recent times, they've been crossing over the MCU and the comics a lot more frequently these days. I mean, the entirety of the TVA run itself is all from the MCU. The Mobius and Mobius is the Owen Wilson variant. The OB is the same variant that we got in Loki season 2. Miss Minutes references when she was becoming a homicidal maniac and tried to kill everybody. Um, Even in this latest issue of TVA number 4, they find Elizabeth Olsen's Scarlet Witch, where they did confirm that Marvel did. So they also referred to the fact that a mountain was being dropped on her and she was supposed to be dead. So,
Mm,
um, I just think that when it comes to these new characters, don't sleep on it. Don't look at it and say, "Oh well, uh, they always got new characters. They're always doing this." Okay, because we're supposed to get this time period of all these new characters, and in all honesty, I had an argument with somebody before about it, and they were trying to say that, "Oh, that's all done, and those characters are already introduced." Absolutely not, because if you notice, in the last 2 years, we've been getting all sorts of new characters, nearly back to back almost in these different runs. And out of all honesty, I think that the time period of when they were supposed to introduce a lot of these new characters, I think that a lot of it was held back and postponed due to the writer's strike and due to COVID. So now I think some of these characters that we're starting to get, we were supposed to see them earlier than what we're seeing now. You know, I almost think that like the TVA run was supposed to come out during Loki season 2, or at least at the end of it while it was still fresh on people's minds, right? I also think that runs like Kahori, Reshaper of Worlds, should have also dropped around the time that What If season 2 came out, right?
yeah,
So, just pay attention because I mean, even when it comes to the MCU, Kid Deadpool, the one played by Ryan Reynolds' daughter, she had that one shot with Spider Boy of all people, and that was officially that variant of the Kid Pool. So, even backed in Crypt of Shadows Volume 2 in the more recent ones, we got Joshua Jovan, which was the hunter from the Werewolf by Night special that was getting ready to kill Werewolf by Night, and then he was ultimately saved by Ted. So just pay attention to some of these new characters. All right, don't look
yeah.
at it and think that, oh, they're just a dime a dozen, because the way I'm seeing things, you never know when some of these characters might start popping up in the MCU, because there was a leak a while ago about Spider Boy supposing to be in Across the Spider Verse. All right, and they said that they held it back for the timing of his first appearance and when the film actually was coming out. So don't sleep. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. T Jones says don't sleep because this Hulk character has got a little cake. But then Styles Solitaire says, but why is she wearing a cup though?
Oh man.
A, maybe it's just a huge ass camel toe.
Yeah, I was
You
literally
know,
about to say the same thing.
you know.
It is Hulk.
Yeah, that's all I mean. Shit, you know. Maybe it's not just camel toe, it's a rhino. You know, freaking huge ass fucking rhino go down there. You never know. It's not for us to freaking speculate. All right, let's go on to what's this?
I wanted to talk about this because right now I saw like another recent update of I talked about a little bit last week on where Marvel is basically thinking about putting in these animated characters. All right, so first the talk was about characters like Captain Carter and people like that and people from What If. Okay, like I'm probably thinking maybe Birdie of Howard the Duck and Darcy Lewis's kid, because Darcy Lewis is another one of those characters that showed up in Thor, the first Thor, and then later on showed up in Scarlet Witch #1. But that's off subject. But I think that some of these animated characters may have a good chance of popping up in these two films. So I wanted to know the reaction of you guys. Like, what do you guys think about that? Like, are you game for it? Do you not want to see that or what? Because it's giving me Cool World vibes.
I don't know. Are there any new characters from the Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man? I'm not tracking it.
Well, I mean, like technically, all the characters from that universe are new characters because like it's a completely new universe basically. So, it was basically originally supposed to be Tom Holland Spider-Man's early years. All right, so that's when the show was called Freshman Year. Since then they altered it a little bit, but when it comes to the current run that we're still in right now, it's all labeled as new characters. Different iterations.
Huh.
But the characters that I was thinking of the most, besides just him, is like I said, Captain Carter, Kahori. The characters that they gave those #1s to.
I don't know. I tried watching the first two episodes. Didn't really get into it. Actually, I think I might have made it to number three. But yeah, I, I don't know where they got this idea from because now. So hold on. Let me back this up. This was a leak, right?
This was Jeff Trammell. I think he had something to do with the show, but he is the guy that talked about this particular Spider-Man
Right.
showing up.
Right. Yeah. So how about they give us the motherfuckers that they were already said they were going to fucking give us, right? Let's start from there. Like we're supposed to be Ben had Blade in this motherfucker. Let's just go with Blade. Let's get freaking Nova in there. Let's bring back our Young Avengers or the Champions or whoever you wanted to give us, right? Give us the ones that you already don't that you were supposed to give us. Don't bring up these new motherfuckers, right? Because it's not looking good right now for the whole MCU at all. Right? They keep putting out stuff, and a lot of it's just freaking crap, which is fractionally freaking and it's supposed that's what it's supposed to go down, right? But the amount of failures that's happening right now is unacceptable. So uh, give us the motherfuckers that you were supposed to give us, and then we can
Well,
worry about these new motherfuckers. That's all. That's all I got to say on that.
well,
Because
even
this is
with
crazy.
like the failures that we've had as of late, um, if we're just being totally honest, I mean, we really already know what that's all about. But at the same token, from what I heard, Blade is supposed to be being saved now for a Midnight Suns project. So, um, I think that because of all the hate that was going on, and especially with Wesley Snipes' Blade already, making an appearance. People were so hell bent on having Wesley come back as the character and be the Blade that they kind of shelved Mahershala Ali's Blade, right? So now, because that happened, they're just like, you know what, fuck it, dude. Let's put it all in a Midnight Suns project, and then after that project, 9 times out of 10, I mean, it's Midnight Suns. Just those characters alone, if they do any of them justice, then people are gonna love that shit, and they can definitely do something with Mahershala Ali's Blade after that. But before then, I don't think it's gonna happen. So, a book that I bought geared up for, I bought a 9-4 of Giant Size Chillers #1, which is the first appearance of Lilith, and she's supposed to be the villain of that film. So that's what I'm waiting for. And Fantastic Four, dudes, around the fucking corner, man. I'm geeked for that shit.
Yeah, I hope it. I hope people don't get disappointed, man. That's all I'm hoping for. And see, that's all you have for that. What did I have? And the only thing that I wanted to add was so we do have a little bit more clarification on the effect of these tariffs on the comic book industry. Um, Supposedly, books are exempt. Anything that could in any way be considered informational materials are exempt. Now, that doesn't mean at some point along the supply chain line that the input tariffs are going to cause the prices to go up. That's very likely to happen. But for the moment, comic books are not directly freaking um, tariffed or taxed right now. So keep that in mind.
I think the only
Uh,
thing that people are gonna have to worry about is their action figures, because all that's coming from China,
oh yeah,
and
that's definitely all fucked up.
yeah, they're taking massive hits out there too. Like, brand new factories being closed down because people are too scared to spend the money to invest in them anymore, and their economy is in the shitter right now. They're only surviving off of clothes at the moment.
Why does this not one? Okay, here we go.
All right,
All
so
right, so did you want to jump right into this, or did you want to take a quick break? Let's take a
uh,
quick break. Let's take a
no,
30-second break, and then we'll jump right into the 429 releases.
I was meant to be new. I was meant to be beautiful. The world would have looked to the sky and seen hope, seen mercy. Instead, they'll look up in horror because of you. You've wounded me. I give you full marks for that. But, like the man said, what doesn't kill you just makes me stronger.
All right, what we're gonna get into right now is the stuff that came out this past Wednesday. Um, Chris, looks like you did a lot of work on that. Freaking, let's go ahead and freaking get into it.
yeah, I just wanted to make sure I flashed it by people.
Yep.
So this was, of course, your Adventure Times #1. I did see a lot of people picking these up, and especially, I was kind of surprised to see people picking up the blanks as well. I guess it being con season, so I guess that's going to happen these days. As you know, every time of the year when we have con season, those blanks go for a pretty penny. So
Hmm.
let's just, keep an eye on blank variants right now, just on anything. Um, Next, we have the incentives
Oh,
on
wait,
the
what's going
next
on? Huh?
page.
What's going on?
Did he
That's
mix
weird.
it somehow? Yeah, that's weird. Shit. But we had the, I
Okay,
think it
here you
was
go.
1 in 10, 1 in 20, 1 in 50, and the 1 in 100 by Nakayama. And then this was a book this week. I for some reason cover price was number one with the 1 in 25 on GI Joe. So I'd keep an eye out on those going ahead, even though like what we're on the second one. So let's see what we got next. And then Follow Us to the Moon, number 8. I saw a lot of people picking up the variant to this. I like both of them, so I snagged both of them. But let's see what else we have. All right, this is another big one this week, dude. That 1 in 25 on the left has been going for about $80 right now. I don't know if it made a jump since I last looked. And then the other cover runner up from that was another cover, which is the one where she's on the rocket. That one also was selling out quite a bit. And then I guess just in order of operation, the one on top of the car, she also started to sell out. The only one people weren't biting is the one of her, hanging out the car. So next up, we got number 3 for that, which is a pink cover. So keep your eyes open for that. Then we have
Hold up, stand by. All right, go ahead, man.
we got
Hold on,
Return of the Living Dead number 3. Your spears on the left. I saw everybody picking up that homage. What's that homage to, Lucas?
which one? The one in the second one?
Yeah,
No, what is homage to the movie? Because
yeah,
the scene wasn't necessarily in the movie, but we do know that that little dude does come out of that little fucking barrel.
yeah. So I saw a lot of people picking that up too. I didn't see a whole lot of love for the set of the regular trade dress and then the black and white, but I'm pretty sure maybe people will pick it up later. Because I know a lot of people are saving money for the con right now. Next we got up is I believe it's what Spawn.
Yeah.
Biggest cover on this one was the one
The
on
one
the
on the
right,
left. Yep, one on the right.
Bajor Barons, which is the first cover appearance of Nyx as Queen of Hell. So, if you
Right.
didn't get it, definitely go back and pick that one up.
Well, it was the first cover of her as Queen of Hell. I forget which one where she was actually Queen of Hell. The one on the left, that was the Aladir. That was a late pickup. That one is sold out at the distributor level. But also inside the book, you had Wanda, which was not in the vision, but it was like the Mandarin dressed up as Wanda, as a Spawn character. So that's kind of one thing to look out for.
And then I know for sure that I believe her number first appearance was in Book of Nyx, number 1 that came out like last week. It was that remember that black cover with the cross on it?
hmm
That was I believe her first appearance as the Queen of Hell. And then what do we got up next?
Sassy Megatron.
Yeah. Yeah, we got the Zesty Megatron in the house. So the 1 in 10 by David Nakayama. And then we have your 1 in 25, your 1 in 50, and then your 1 in 100. I was surprised to see that the 1 in 100 is actually foil. I did not catch that because if I did, I probably would have picked one up or at least at least one. You know what I mean? Because I did not peep that at all. I don't know how I missed that. Maybe because the title was so long and then it pushed the foil part out of it. But dude, I didn't see that until after my initial orders went in. I was like, oh wow. Next up, we got Vatican City. This is
Sold out.
yes, sold
Sold
out
out.
board. So if you do see this at your local comic shop, dude, I would definitely advise you to pick it up. Um, just from what I hear so far, it's been a weird and twisted read. I don't know why Midtown's behind on their shit this week because I'm still waiting for this week's books. But make sure you cop this if you see it.
It is an amazing concept because you think of what you know about vampires, and vampires are supposed to, kind of save away from freaking crosses and all that shit. Well, what do you think is in the fucking Vatican City, right? Nothing but fucking crosses and religious memorabilia. But then they decide to freaking attack the Vatican City, and they get it, and they get away with it for the most part. So there's something fucking going on. Perfect for a freaking script. Not a franchise. It's not going to be a franchise, but it's great for a freaking movie script. So definitely, if you see this freaking slacking off, go ahead and pick this one up.
All right, then we got Absolute Batman #7. We got the two regular.
Absolute Batman has lost the fucking plot. I don't give a fuck about this shit anymore.
No,
It's
it was that.
lost the fucking plot.
It was that
it's
bad.
it's lost the fucking plot. It was because now they're trying to transition us to over to like, okay, now there's these big bad guys that are out there and they're watching you and they're looking at you and they got this big major fucking plan. And Ben and Bruce, though, he's just doing what he can with his lost daddy and freaking, and his mommy is doing the best she can. Everything. No, you lost the fucking plot. I don't give a fuck anymore. Sorry.
Yeah,
No.
and from what
It,
I heard, it's not even just classic Victor Freeze, of course. It's his son, and he's trying to save his parents in this one. So
yeah.
it's a hell of a twist on this book, but hey, if Lucas said the plot is lost, you'll have to determine that on your own. Definitely order it through the pull box, though. All right, dude. Now, this one,
Call.
I was pissed because they put this beautiful fucking Jeff DeCal on a regular fucking cover. And they put the WADA on the 1 in 25. And my boy Nakayama also has a regular cardstock and a foil, right? But they fucked this one all up, dude. That #1 should have definitely been that 1 in 25 for that decal.
Shout out to Tony Fixit. I just realized what the one in the middle, what's triggering me. So I know once again this is dating my time, but it used to be before Beyonce, right? She used to be a part of this group called Destiny Child, right? And only one other person from that group actually kind of made it, right? Kind of had her own career. And this photo looks like when Beyonce and that other girl would take a photo next to each other.
Kelly Rowland.
There you go. That's they look. I know for a fact that they fucking stole this because that's exactly how Kelly Rowland would look if she was white, and then one on the left. That's exactly how Beyonce would look if she was non-black, right?
Indeed.
And it looks like they stole the fuck. They just kind of copied that photo, and there's an awkwardness. There's an absolute awkwardness to this fucking photo. As she's got her hand over her. It's not on her. It's just kind of like over around her. And there's that awkwardness, that Beyonce Kelly freaking awkwardness, man.
Like she doesn't want to touch her
Yeah, like
because she
bitch, I gotta be. Yeah, bitch, I
clearly
gotta be in the
is.
same photo with you, but I don't want to touch it.
And
Tony Fitz says he like Colt Kelly best.
I would definitely say though, pick up that Jeff DeCall if you see it because of that 5.99 cover price. I don't think shops ordered a whole hell of a lot of these, so I would definitely pick up a couple, just in general. You're always gonna have your cults that follow the artist, right? So this will be one of his to pick up for Jeff DeCall. All right,
Amazing
dude.
Spider-Man #1.
Now this book right here, dude, I am not gonna lie. For a #1 issue, it did give me everything that I kind of wanted for the most part. We got a little action in there. We got a little story built up in there. We got a couple of new characters in there because we get Peter Parker's old childhood friend. Then at the very end of the issue, we get our first appearance and first look at Hellgate. And might I say, this motherfucker looks brutal, and I cannot wait for issue 2, dude. And the 1 in 50 and the Kafu are the ones to pick up on this. Although I did see a lot of people picking up that Liber Mayho, and I saw a couple of people picking up these 1 in 25s. So don't sleep on this book. I know there was a lot of covers. Get you a couple of incentives, get you the Kafu, and call it one until we get to this issue 2. But so far, it's lit. I'm feeling this shit. So, all right, Daredevil 20. The cover that sold the most on this is the MCU variant. All right.
Mm-hmm.
So this
Makes
one
sense.
was a bitch to find for some reason, even for myself, because every store seemed like they wanted to limit you to one. And then after you did get that one, it's just ridiculous, dude. Um, Even the shops didn't have that many of these on the shelf. So
Right,
if
because
you
they got
see,
gunshot from that freaking Agatha show shit where they had
yeah,
it and nobody fucking bought the shit.
yep.
So,
So
but
now, like I said, dude, if you see this this is gonna be one of those books later on, especially because Daredevil is so popular right now. We got the season two coming up, so by the time we get to season two, I think people will be coming in as new fans, and they'll come back to look for this one for sure. All right, next up, we got my motherfucking main man, Godtail, on the one on the left, and then my other man, Dan Panosian, on the 1 in 25.
that Panosian site, great freaking close face shot, and it's kind of interesting because I remember a couple years back they were doing all these little face shots, and they were all terrible, so fucking terrible. But this one is actually pretty good.
Yeah, and then on top of that, dude, the Godtail variant sold out. I mean, this thing wasn't in sight. Um, I mean, I had to search just to get four of these, and it wasn't easy. I'll just put it like that. So, I guess people have, they're on to my boy now. Um, Hopefully, we have an announcement coming up pertaining to this as well. So, just keep a lookout for that. But so far in this run, it's been pretty decent. I'm not gonna lie. I've enjoyed the aspect of him being, the source supreme of Asgard. But um, being like the bitch that he is right now, ducking off to Asgard, he needs to take his bitch ass back to Earth and help them handle this Doom situation. All right, and then this dude. Of course, the Capcom variants. Those are a no-brainer. Pick those up. But the Dole sold out. So I guess people are fucking feeling this artwork times 10 because this was another one that was just gone. I caught two when I went back to get more, they were gone. So do with that with will. And
There
then
you
this
go.
this dude right here. Now I put the main cover up here because we definitely got the first full appearance of this at the prime, but on the 1 in 25, we got these new creatures that kind of resemble xenomorphs,
This is
which I
Rexy.
believe, which is I believe this is going to be their first cover appearance because I don't remember seeing it on any of the covers for issue one, and then this is the only one that I saw it on. So, not only do you get a good first appearance in it, but then you get a nice cover to it as well. So, definitely pick those up if you see them.
Yeah, I forget what it was his. So and the big thing is at the prime. I forget what his first appearance was. I don't think it was number
There,
one. It was he was on the cover of another. It was like Darth Vader Legacy number
yeah, it was Darth
one
Vader.
or three. Yeah, it was Darth Vader Legacy something like one or three or something like that. He was on the cover, but he wasn't actually inside the story. Then his first maybe cameo, whatever you want to call it, was in issue number one, and now his first full to include the Zerexy is in this one. So these are definitely good ones if we can pick up. The one on the left, that's a Raza, and then there's also a 1/100 lightsaber joined with Yoda on there, and I'm trying to remember what the other thing was. The oh yeah, fucking in the story, Aratha Prime put his motherfucking hands on fucking Yoda. He put him down. He tried to put him down like a fucking dog. Like dog, come here, bitch. Fucking and just try to put him fucking down. Almost had him too, but Aratha decided to leave it be if he can slip out. Now the interesting thing about Aratha Prime is that he was supposed to be in a story, a kind of like a toy that was going to come out after the last of the Star Wars trilogy, and he was going to be the big bad boss. Like Darth Vader was gone. this was going to be your big bad, right? They pitched it to Hasbro, or excuse me, Hasbro pitched it to Star Wars and everything. They looked at it and was like, we don't like it, and they decided not to do it. Now, this guy's freaking back. This is the beginning of him getting to supposedly being the big bad guy of the Star Wars universe. And if you want to start, definitely you're gonna want to have the biggest freaking weapon, which is an alien-like freaking race that can fucking just eat through any fucking thing, and that's these guys, the Xerxes.
Yeah, dude. All right, now this one is also a really big key this week. If you didn't get it, go get it. But the covers to grab is this Gerard Perel, and then this I think it's Suave on the 1 in 50. But there are four first appearances in it, as well as a return of a character, Black Winter, and you also get Silver Surfer, a new version. Let's just say that, and it's dope as shit. And I would definitely make sure you pick up a few of these because if they ever go back and reference this, because the next issue is supposed to have Thor in it, all right. So, and you already know that Thor is currently on his path to die, and then they're going to Al Ewing is going to continue on this Thor story. So, just pick this storm up. It's a no-brainer. I mean, plus it's a beautiful fucking cover anyway, so shouldn't be hard. All right, this is
Four
next.
16. Did you want to go into this now, or this is
Uh,
next Wednesday?
I mean, if you want to get it over with, so we can just rock out FOC, and that's what we got. You know, up to you.
Let's, because we also got the Godtail stuff. So
Yeah, we
yeah,
can
let's
do
go
that.
ahead and do 416.
All right,
Yep, this
so
stuff coming out on 416 next Wednesday. Go ahead.
we got this Conan up. This number 20, the cover D is pretty dope, but I'm really feeling this version for some reason. So definitely keep an eye out on these, just in case. What else we got up here, dude? Because I know I got a couple of bangers up here. Epitaphs of the Abyss. This is gonna be your issue 10. Main cover on the left, your 1 in 10 on the right. They switched it up. They had Jay Stevens doing the 1 in 10s, but now they have Albert Montez on it. So I know me and Lucas, we were waiting for this cover for a while, seeing these dogs eat this man alive. So you know I had to pick it up just because of that.
Because look, people could be like, "Oh man, yeah, they're afraid of fucking, you know, Frankenstein and vampires and all that shit." What's the real fucking threat? A real fucking threat is fucking dogs coming up and eating your ass, man.
Yeah, especially after they then brought the dire wolf back from extinction. You know what I mean?
Shit,
Like, oh my
motherfuckers
god.
never learn.
Hey,
Motherfuckers never
those things
learn.
are like only 6 months old and they're nearly the size of a full wolf already. So
Jeez.
we're living some Jurassic Park shit for real now. And they're currently working on the Willy Mammoth.
this
Yeah, this shit's insane.
Popeye looks good.
All right, Popeye, dude. This left on the cover B by Jake Smith, and then over here to the right, cover C by Trevor Richardson. Dude, these sold out immediately. This Popeye variant or this Super Mario Brothers variant sold out immediately. So if you see these fucking books, man, pick this shit up. You know, I don't even think twice about it, dude. If you see it, grab it. Cause I'm pretty sure as low ordered as these Popeyes have been, this book is definitely going to go up because people want it.
And there's been so many really great covers by I Love Popeye so far, man.
All right, Grim Fairy Tales 95.
Woo!
Your cover C by Satana Mate's, and this also comes in foil form. But I mean, dude, this cover reminded me of a twist between Jenny Frison and Larix Larry, and dude, it's just fucking banger. So, you know, do what thou will on this one, but that's fire. And the next one is also fire by your boy Josh Burns. So between these two, I mean, whichever one you like, but I definitely pick one up because I've seen people take quite a bit of interest in this cover alone, both of them. So, all right, Hack Slash Body Bags, number 4, cover B by Calman and Drud. And you see the shit, all right? I've been
Yeah.
waiting on this cover for about 2 months now, so this is definitely one I'm picking up. All
Whew.
right, you got your King Spawn, number 44. You got your um revolver, what is that, yeah, revolver on the left, and then your Bajora Barons on the right, which is another cover that we covered, I want to say, nearly a month ago now. So
Yeah.
definitely keep an eye out on these as well.
So here's a little Easter egg for you in the background. Remember that comic book, The Ice Cream Man?
Indeed.
His truck is in the background of this.
Oh yeah, dude, maybe that's why I picked up 4. I knew something, dude, was just drawing me to it. Oh, now this one right here, dude, this is the last book for this. Sister and Imperator. All right, number 2. This one is going to be a hard to find gem. If you see it, you pick it up, no hesitations asked, man. Um, People were asleep on this book. Um, we didn't even talk about the number 1 on it, but I wanted to make sure I added it this time because I saw sales pretty good for this book. So keep an eye out for it. If you see it, definitely pick it up because I don't think there's going to be enough of these to go around.
Sexy looking book.
Yeah, dude, this cover is astounding. All right, Absolute Flash number 2. We got your Christian Ward on the left and your Clayton Crane on the right. And then here we are for your 1 in 25, and then your 1 in 50. Now they do have a 1 in 100 on this. I just didn't include it because I feel like the 1 in 25 and 1 in 50 are enough on this book until it proves itself a little bit more. Because some people were feeling it, some people were not. I think it all just depends on how you feel about it. Me personally, I'm definitely picking up the 1 in 25. So I don't know what it is with the black and white shit with me, but you know. Then we have your 1 in 25 on Catwoman 75 on your left, and then this just fucking beautiful cover on the right. This cover C by Enoch Lee. No brainer. Pick up both of these.
Yeah.
You see them, pick them up. I mean, come on now, dude. Anything with Asian letters on it fucking sells. So it's not that hard of a choice right here.
Asian letters, girl in her freaking S&M leather feather suit.
Thick as hell.
Yeah, you can't even pretend. You can't even pretend like that's supposed to be a superhero suit. Her front meat is all out, man, and then she's got the whip. Yeah, that's not. We're not really going to play that game.
Yeah, dude, these are gonna do well. All right, we got your DC X
Here
Sonic
you
the
go.
Hedgehog crossover, your
Yep.
cover B from Mel. I know he's watching. And look, dude, I would say definitely pick these up. Sonic and DC. This particular crossover has been extremely hot. I mean, I've had people ask for it that don't even collect comics. So, if you know what's up, then you would definitely want to grab them. I didn't cover the cover A with Darkseid, but I mean, to each his own. We all know this is the cover to go for. All right, now New Gods number 5. There is supposed to be a key first appearance in this book, and I just picture a cover up and your Del Mundo. There's another cover as well. Forgot who did it, dude. It's one of my artists too, but definitely keep an eye on it because, like I said, it's supposed to be a first appearance in this book. So something I guess we're waiting for, if we've been waiting for, from what I know, a buddy of mine that's reading this run right now. So definitely keep an eye on it. And then here's your Superman Summer Special number 1. You got your John G. Ang on the left, your Chrissy Zulo in the middle, and your Alessandro um, Cappuccino. on the right. Now, no, Alexander Lozano, my
Yeah.
bad. All three are fucking great. Pick them up. Then we have your Bangus Capcom variants. So you got one for Cable and Love number 4, and then you also got one for Wolverine number 6. We've been picking these up, so that's another no-brainer. All right, and then for Exceptional X-Men number 8, you got your set, your 1 in 50 in the middle, and your Seawi in the right. So this run has been pretty good. So I definitely say pick up at least one of them, if not all of them. All right, here's another one of the facsimile joints that I wanted to include because, out of all honesty, this is a badass name or cover for Fantastic Four number 4, but it's by Phil Noto, 125. So these don't ever stick around, so that's definitely a pickup, in my opinion.
You know what I've been wondering? In DC, when they hit on Jason Momoa as Aquaman, they started to change some of the comic books to look like Jason Momoa. But Marvel hasn't done the freaking same, right? I forget what the dude's name was, like Chico Lakwalitz or something like that. They never really changed his freaking name. They never really changed his name, nor did they change it to look the same in the freaking comic books. So, I wonder why they did that.
Yeah, that's a good question. All right, so they have a lot of covers up for this, but I picked the two that stood out the most, that I know have been selling well, which is the Lee Garbett on the left, and then you have the 1 in 25 on the right. So these are both pickups. They do have a foil for this as well, and a couple of other covers, but these were the two that I was feeling the most. So, and then Iron Man, dude, number 7, your Dave Lopez Presents on the right and your main cover on the left. Now, the only reason why I put the cover up on the left is because I can't remember seeing that suit on a cover or whoever that is on the cover at all yet. So, and then on the right, I mean, that's just a badass Marvel Presents cover. So I think that one's going to be a sleeper. But, sometimes these pictures on the screens don't do as much justice as books are in person. So I think this is going to be one of those in person books that just kind of gets bought. So,
James Crater says Book of the Week is supposed to be Red Coat number 11, First Northern. He's the one that tied the Ghost Machine universe together. A 3 issue arc, then jumps to Geiger number 25.
yeah, dude, shout out to James Critter, dude. We saw the man going crazy with the pin up apocalypse. So, Star Wars Jedi Knights number 1, second printing. The cover on the left, I believe that's a first cover appearance, and then of course the Raza second print 1 in 25 is your wraparound. I think that this is a beautiful wraparound, so I may even have to pick one of these up myself. So, all right, Superior Avengers number 1, the 1 in 25 by Alessandro Cappuccio. Now, apparently, this is supposed to be, I don't know if this is the exact issue, but I know we're expecting the return of the Brotherhood of Evil Mutants in this issue or an upcoming issue. But definitely pick up the 1 in 25. They also had a Doom cover to this, but I think everybody is doomed out until we get to Fantastic Four. So this will be the go to. All right, then we got your Ultimate Wolverine number 4. The David Aja on the left, and then your 1 in 25 on the right. Um, I think these are going to be the two covers on this book. A lot of people have been sticking with A covers, but if you're going to go outside of that, then these two are definitely ones to consider.
Here we
And then
go.
a book we've been talking about for a couple of weeks now, Web of Venomverse. Number 1, Brain Eater, right? Now, the Derek Chew on the left is probably going to be the book. The other two, you have your A cover that is a connecting, and then you have another cover that is also a connecting, if I'm not mistaken. And then here we have our 1 in 10. So if you're gonna pick up any of these, I would definitely say these two are the ones you should go to. Now, your A cover is probably gonna be your first cover appearance for some of these characters, possibly, but these are still gonna be the covers out of all four. So I'm definitely anticipating this little mouse dude. Like, I don't know what it is, but once you put a symbiote on a fucking animal, dude, they're awesome. Look at Jeff. All right, Wolverine
That's the one
number
I've been
8.
waiting for.
Your Daniel Warren Johnson black and white virgin variant. And then on the right, I picked this one because this is your Romulus variant. So these two books are definitely a pickup. That Daniel Warren Johnson is beautiful, and pretty sure that most shops were a little tight with that Daniel Warren Johnson if you didn't pre-order it on your FOC. So if you see it, it's definitely worth picking up, hands down. I mean, really, I don't really got to do a lot of talking for it, dude. That motherfucker is awesome.
All right. Let's go ahead and take a break, and then we're going to come back and we're going to start on the FOC. Let's see, where is stuff? Here we go. Yeah, I'm gonna give myself two. Let's go with 2 minute break, and then I'm gonna come so I can go grab me a shot, and then we're gonna start on the FOC. How about that?
Sounds good to me.
Uh-oh.
You've got quite the audacity to trespass into my territory and not come say hello. And who are you? Kuku, the Man of Steel. I am in charge of protecting the Hagane family. What are you planning to do with us? Come along, Robin. The great Oyabun would like to have a word.
You're not the boss?
How'd you imagine someone above you? Yes. The great Oyabun is the one who has led us down this path. Do not resist. I have orders to eliminate you if you try to make things difficult. I must ask, how does your great Oyabun refer to me? You are the detective. The worthless trash who collects dirt on other people. There you have it. That tells me pretty much everything I need to know.
You think so?
Yeah, it looks like we're dealing with Ra's al Ghul.
Still as sharp as ever, detective.
Of course it's you.
But it seems you figured it out a little too late. I even had enough time to hack into the back tech of your vehicle. Now come, grandson, I need to talk to you.
Looks like you're in a pretty deep, Batty Man!
Joker.
Now, that's getting pretty funny!
Stay out of my way!
You kidding me? Getting in the way is my favorite pastime! Besides, the only one who
Man,
gets
dude,
the
they got
pleasure
some
of killing the
fucking
Batman is
bangers on
me!
FOC, dude.
No way in hell some phony superfella gets to do it!
The great Oyabun gave me an order, and I will follow through! Damien!
Excellent work, Kuroku. I'll see you soon, baby.
You never should have come here, you rotten piece of trash!
Harley! I knew you get up with the big guy! You'll be fine, you got this!
Hey, Lucas, how long is this trailer? How much longer we got? Oh, this is bad. I was just wondering because I was looking at some of the stuff that we're about to look at, and they have some bangers on FOC this weekend, dude.
You mean like this one?
Fuck
Hot
yeah,
Kill.
dude.
This is going to be of the week. Cover of the week. Don't even.
Fun.
That's not even. Yeah, that's not even fake the funk. Cover of the week right here. Start
Yeah,
right
this-
out. But hold on.
this
Let
is
me
where it's at.
let me sabotage the rest of the show, and let's go ahead and take the shot.
Dude,
Oh
this
shit! I think I poured too much. I think that was another shot. Oh shit! Woo! Oh, Carolina.
yeah.
Why she gotta be holding a hot dog like that? That's fucked up.
Hey, I was wondering though, are they giving us any like I wonder if we're gonna get this in a Virgin anyhow, some
I
way.
do
Like,
not want any store exclusives, any Comic Con exclusives. We'll probably get that shit, but they will fucking ruin that shit by doing that.
I just want it on like maybe, dude, fucking. Nah, I don't want it as an exclusive, but if it's a regular like release, like on 1 in 25 or something, I'm all game for it, dude. But
It's a good one.
I
It's a good
want
one.
10 of these. Straight.
Then let's tone it down a little bit. Let's just go through some of the DC. I know, we got your beaks a little wet. Birds of Prey, issue number 21, the Rion Gonzalez.
Is this a regular issue or 125?
Regular issue.
Fuck yeah, dude. It's about time.
Torrent Clark with Green Lantern number 2.
Yeah. Hey, shout out to Turn Clark. That guy is fucking amazing. He has been dropping some bangers, dude. You can tell he really puts in work into his craft, man. We got to reach out to him, see if we can get him on the show.
James Crowder says, you know that they're going to do a second print of that Adam Hughes topless.
Oh yeah, dude.
Bring it, bitch! Just as long as the art is different than the original, I'm okay with it. But if you're just going to give me the same fucking art and just color it differently, and let's see, nope. All right, Absolute Green Lantern number 2. This is not an orange crack, but this is a, I forget what the artist is, but it's a pretty good looking piece. Then Absolute Superman cover C, Leslie Lurie.
Yeah, I heard Superman's about to turn his back on us.
Good for him. You don't deserve him.
About time.
In this issue, there's supposed to be a new Brainiac. Well, it's a different universe, so that's whatever. But the question is who is the Brainiac in this one? Is it a new guy, a different character? And the interesting thing about all Brainiacs is that they know that there's different multiverses out there. So this guy in here at some point will figure out that there's a different universe. With that knowledge, will he eventually try and get himself over to the main universe? Just saying. Batgirl issue number 7, Singer Shiva. All in the Atom Project issue number 5. Kyung Eum, Poison Ivy issue number 33. Just kind of a beautiful freaking piece. A little too much baby oil on her though, but still a great freaking gorgeous looking freaking piece.
Is that our girl? Or uh
No, Kyung Eum.
okay, yeah. That's I picked up 4 of them bitches this past week, dude. Fucking phenomenal, dude. They look so good in person.
Yeah, the one where she's sitting down. Yeah.
Yeah.
Secret Six, excuse me, Secret Six number 3. This one is another Leslie Lurie. It's an interesting cover because first of all, I'm turned off by just a dude sitting in a fucking
Hot
in a
tub.
fucking hot tub.
Yeah.
But then when you look a little closer, it's he's got a fucking big ass claw on his fucking chest, right? And then when I see the big cats behind him, they're I just realized they're eating something, right?
Yeah, they're ripping some shit
They're
apart.
ripping some shit apart, but they're probably not just ripping some shit apart. They're probably eating the motherfucking tiger or the big cat that fucking ripped them up like that.
Hey, dude,
That's
you
fucking
gotta.
ghastly as fuck.
Yeah.
So there's a little bit to be read into that. I love this fucking cover. This one is in my top 10. Two Face, issue number 6, cover A by Baltimore Revis. Inside, so basically his head is ripping open. And inside, there's another dude, eyes and nose and all, that's trying to crawl his way the fuck out of his fucking head. Great fucking. great freaking concept. There's another one that's out there. Just I think it's the cover B, where the dude is coming out of his chest. Not as gnarly as this one. All right, there's some of these I just have sum ups for these, but I do have the actual covers for these, like Gwenpool #1. Lava fucking covers for these.
Yeah, dude. That Resurrection Man, Quantum Karma #2, the I don't know who the fuck that is, dude. It does look good though with that big ass skull, and damn near looks like the shadow underneath it, dude. Oh, it's a decal. That's why the fuck I like it so much. This motherfucker is
All right,
beautiful.
the Gwenpool #1. This one is 1/100 by Ji Hung Lee,
I've
and
already
it's saying, say again.
seen. I've already been seeing these bitches sell at like about 150, 200 already.
Woo. Now the solicit says, "Who is this dark Gwenpool?" So we don't know if it's the same girl or if it's the same girl and now she's bad or whatever. But there's an insinuation that she's kind of different right now.
Yeah, cause in another, I don't know if what solicitation was or if it was just Marvel dropping dimes, but they had said something about it being a Gwen Stacy, like an
Yeah.
actual
Now I
Gwen
probably
Stacy.
should have waited. Yeah, I probably should have held on to this one till the end. Gwenpool #1, 125 by Godtail, because you are doing a matrix or an over deep dive on Godtail,
Yeah, we
to
can
hit us up on what's going on with it.
go
This
over a
cover
few.
looks actually looks pretty good.
I saved that one actually for last, so it's all good, dude. That was the last one.
This one actually looks really good. This Todd Knock.
Yeah,
The problem is that there is a store variant for it.
yeah, a black version of it.
Yeah. So what was their fucking plan? I don't
I
get it.
yeah,
Usually the store variants they wait till after the FOC to announce, hey, we've got a fucking hey, we've got a fucking center variant. Or not a center retailer variant. They usually wait, right, until it's too late and you're fucked.
yeah, but you're diehard Gwenpool fans like Mr. Longshort. Shout out to Mr. Longshort. He'll pick up both of them. You know, people like that. So I mean, it fucks it up for what we would like to do, but it is some bullshit, dude. I am rather tired of it. I wish that they would do um like at least give us a different variation or give us that one in black, but put the evil one on there, dude. Like what the fuck?
Yeah, it's by 789 Comics. It's on sale now, on sale tomorrow. They claim that it's only going to be 500 copies, and they said it's first appearance of the new Gwenpool X. Let's see what else we got in there. And then there's a retailer exclusive for this joint. You remember this joint, the Supergirl?
I had to pick one up, dude. Had to.
But there's a
Beautiful.
retail exclusive for it. It says
Yeah,
800 copies.
it's just gonna go into the PC, man. But it had to come there. It had to go into the PC.
And they fucking decided to rape corpses. DMX. Tribute to DMX by Scott and Sarissa one. Doesn't sound
Yeah,
like a guy who ever listened to DMX, but okay. And it just goes on. I like this one, but they probably should have held it to just a regular store or retail exclusive. Her and her
yeah.
little freaking that's definitely a fucking S&M suit, but it was that got the little I forget what you call it, the faja. I forget what you call it.
It reminds me of all the variants that he was doing for Asian Heritage Month.
Got old girl just drinking the sodas that are retail exclusive. Yep, limited to 1,000 worldwide. Some Imperilla stuff. All right, this is depressing. We haven't learned our fucking lesson. All right.
I mean, dude, when 350 plus con exclusives just for C2E2 alone. And you still got people running out to buy those Peach Momoko rival variants. And now they're doing grading on the spot. So drop your shit off at 11 and pick it up at 4 type shit. You know, people are going crazy with these things right now.
All right, that was Hell Rain. Don't worry, I got the covers coming up. There is the Chris Campagna.
And this is going to be your first full appearance of Helverine, if I'm not mistaken. I mean, of Hellhawk.
1 in 10, Raphael and Ancio. He needs a fucking beautician to get in on those toenails, man. Let's see. Hellrain. There we go. There's Mortal Thor 1/100 version.
Yeah, they're back with these Alex Rosses, and
Who
man,
asked for this shit? Who asked for
nobody.
this shit?
Like, they didn't need to do it, but I get, people get the sets together, and then you'll catch them on eBay for like $1,000.
Shit. Mark Spears Monsters, issue number 5. About the werewolf. Still killing it. Miles Morales, Spider Man, issue number 3. It's got a bunch of covers.
32. Yeah, the main cover is fire. That Turn Clark.
Yeah, I think I got it somewhere. Then there's One World Under Doom, number 4. It's got a bunch of covers. It is the Adi Granov. Phoenix, number 11. There's a piece from Moko for that one. Star Wars Bad Batch, Ghost Agents, issue number 3, the Favosia. Ghostbuster Skeleton Crew, issue number 1, cover A by Crook. Oof. This Wolverine issue number 6 was tough.
Yeah, dude. That's they're already spotlighting that variant right there already.
Dark Horse has a book called Robo Wolf number 1 coming out. I don't know what it's about, but you know what? I think I'm going to order me one.
Yeah, it
This is
looks
pretty.
interesting.
Return of the Living Dead, issue number 4 by Mark Spears. It's kind of haunting.
Yeah, it's fire, dude. Some people are kind of worn out over, Mark, but dude, I mean, hell, dude, his shit is bangers, bro. So
Hmm.
it just is what it is at this point.
So, my favorite artist of all time is a lady. Her name was Marguerite Brundage. And she didn't do comic books, but she did books, right? So think of all the things like about villains and like hoods and cult hoods and all that other stuff, and then like bad guys, red, weird hoods and hoops and all that. She was the one that, because she was a costume designer, so she designed that shit and freaking draw it on freaking books, for like all these type of scientific freaking books, and she never gets the fucking credit for that shit. I'll probably have to do a matrix on that sometime soon just to show you all the freaking crazy covers. Um, but yeah, what I'm saying is that people got tired of her ass too because she was drawing too much. But now I've seen a research of people going, you know what, her shit was pretty fucking banging. And that's what Mark Spears is going to go through. Just like Peach Mocha, man. Like when she first came out, her shit was freaking amazing. Now it's just getting, her shit is just kind of delving into the crowd right now.
Yeah, dude, it's just too much. I mean, like you know me, dude. I keep up with artists, so once you get to the point where I gotta spend a lot of money to go back and get your 9,092 covers, it's
Yeah.
just it's a lot, dude. I would personally think that they would learn from some of that shit and slow down, but the money's too good right now.
Yeah. Well, I think what'll happen is he'll get enough money, and then he'll be able to open a school. Then he'll teach all these other, just like what's his name, Archer, right? Archer has this fucking school where he teaches all these other artists to draw and color like the way he likes it, and then hopefully they get a freaking job later. Next up is Detective Kaiju number one. This one is a John Samariva. I
Yeah, I
forget
like
the
that.
name. Yeah, I forget the name of the painting. It's a Japanese painting with it's about the ocean and everything, but it's kind of a homage to that. Here we go with all new Venom. This one is a second print by Clayton Crane, 1 in 25. And there's your Deadpool kills Marvel Universe one last time, 1 in 25. This one second print. Mark Spears Space Ghost Johnny Quest. This one's a Josh Middleton. Issue number 3. This one was kind of surprising. There's something haunting about it that I just freaking like. Let This One Be a Devil, issue number 3 by Fullerton.
Yeah, dude, I like it. I think it's the dragon over the moon type demonstration.
Yeah. This is Dark Gwynpool, done by Greg Land. If people actually like this, then they'll probably grab whatever one that you have the Gwynpool X or the Dark Gwynpool on there. And then this one is Cold
Your
Day in Hell, issue number 2, television variant. What?
your Raper Man variant. Here, I just caught her behind the alley variant while taking lunch and going to get some pastrami and feeding her some pastrami. Like, what the fuck? What were they thinking? Like, dude, I just don't get it. I'm still gonna get it. I'm a completionist. That's what I do. But
Jay Lee with Thundercats Lost, issue number 3, 1 in 10.
bro, I'm not gonna lie. I'm tired of Thundercats, bro. Fuck, bro. Like, dude, I started off with the run. I started grabbing like some of the incentives. I was doing the action figure variants, and then I looked up and they just wouldn't fucking stop. And I'm just like, you know what, dude? Fuck this shit, bro. Like, I'll still pick up, one here and there that I think is fire. But dude, god damn, Thundercats and anything Dynamite, dude, is just like, you motherfuckers, make my book rare, please. The fuck.
Doom Academy, issue number 4.
I've been waiting for this one too because I for some reason really like this.
There's your Adigonov.
The mask is a little different than his Doom number one, so I still like it. But if they drop this in a version, which I'm pretty sure they are, um, does that really fuck up the first Adigrana of Doom or what?
Nah, nah.
Yeah, because that one's just fire. He's like the new Ross.
Brad Selden is asking what is going on here. We are on FOC right now. And then right after FOC, we're going to go into the Godtail deep dive. One World Under Doom, issue number 4, 1/100. I mean, these aren't terrible sketches. I just don't get it why we're still doing this. Red Hulk, issue number 4.
Which has been like a dead series. This and Sam Wilson have both been like dead series, so I've been picking them up just because of that.
And there's your John Boy Myers variant. Kind of like this one. Here's another Gwenpool number 1 Dark Gwen, or is it Gwen X freaking variant?
Yeah, that's your going X.
Daredevil Cold Day in Hell, issue number 2, 1 in 100.
Fire, dude. Waiting for that shit. And this that was Ben Harvey, right?
Probably. I didn't
Yeah, I
have
think it
the written
is.
down.
We already shared it in the group, so I think it is.
Phoenix, issue number 11.
And then
I think this is Lunas. Is this Lucas Wernick?
it definitely looks like a Wernick. But keep an eye out for this issue, anyways, because word on the street is, I guess, Jean Grey's sister is making a return.
Here's your 150 Joe Quesada. Then Uncanny X-Men number 14, 150 Vecchio.
Yeah, I've been picking all these up, dude. They've been fire to me. And then he has a whole nother set of Avengers ones coming as well.
There's a Megan Hedrick variant. X Factor issue number 10, Greg Land. And then Alan Qua for X Factor number 10. Ultimate Black Panther, 1 in 25. Miles Morales, issue number 133, 125. Roger Antonio. Star Wars Jedi Knights, issue number 3. I believe this one is a Raza. Then this one is the 1 in 25, Sarah Pacelli. There's your 1 in 100 Lightsaber Virgin variant for issue number 3 by Torrin Clark.
Yeah, he snapped with that one. I actually like that one.
Killer Affairs of the State, number 2, issue number 1. There's a 1 in 20. This one's got the potential with Mothra. Queen of the Monsters, issue number 3, 1 in 25 by Beasley. I like the cover. However, what I don't get is why they had to age up the girls. These are supposed to be little girls, not freaking muchachas, freaking teen, almost like 20-year-old freaking girls.
So they must be doing like a time jump in the series or something, or
Yeah, it looks like it. Oh, plus it says the old Mothra may be dead, but a new Mothra has arrived after rescuing a Mothra egg from the Cretaceous period. Mira and Emmy arrive back in the present, are actually back at Mothra's original fight against Antra, and worse, they brought Megan Nolan with them. It's possible that their actions in the past are what led to Mothra's original death. Blah, 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 blah. So that's the thing. Now, the Mark Spears. Monsters issue number 5, The Fight. There's some Thunderbolts. There's an Alex Ross for the Thunderbolts. I forgot to pull the. So there's a Toxic Avenger pinup special. And the cover, both of the covers are of the Toxic Avenger take a piss, right? But one has it like nothing on his ass cheeks. It's actually freaking. If you try to look for it, it'll be freaking, edited or whatever. And then there's one where like I think it's like pants is like halfway up his ass cheek, but either way, you still got some dude in the next stall trying to fucking peek at his ass.
yeah, it's weird shit.
Ultimate Black Panther issue number two. It's gonna be on FOC. Uncanny X Men issue number 14. Already went through that. And then looks like that's it because the only thing I have is some of the Wolverine stuff, but I wasn't that impressed by it. All right, is there anything else on FLC that you wanted to cover before we? Because we're going to take a quick break, and then we're going to move on to the Godtail stuff.
Yeah, we good. We got everything right now.
Okay. All right, we'll be back in about a minute, and then we're going to move on to the Godtail stuff. All right, it's time to finally take the last shot of the night. Oh my God, this Cuervo was horrible. Oh, go for this shit. Oh.
Yeah, it feels like a lethal weapon in this bitch. Every time you say that shit, I think of lethal weapon.
Oh man. All right. So last week you astounded us with some Godtail lore, and we were asking for you to pull some Godtail stuff. Tell me what you found, man.
All right, so mostly what I did is I wanted to show off most of his regular releases because he does have a lot of Kickstarter stuff, but as people know that watch the show have already said that I don't really consider the Kickstarter stuff, and we're going to do a separate show on the Kickstarter stuff. But for us, I have his all of his published work so far, and then some things that are up and coming that people can keep an eye on. So, um we can definitely hop into this real quick because not only dude has he been one of my favorite artists in recent times, but he's a really great guy. He actually hails from Japan. The guy is really cool in my personal opinion, and I think that we should be able to get him on the show. And when we do, um, this is going to be everybody's chance to, like we kind of did with Nakayama, but take a kind of like a deep dive with him and kind of go into his mindset when he's doing these things. Because Godtail, to me, um, he mixes the perfect style of comic book art with anime art,
Mm.
which I have a few slides that you'll definitely be able to see that some of his style has influence from anime. So starting off, um, we got
Woo.
his Chicken Devil. Now this was his Chicken Devil number one. It was a Line Breakers
So
variant.
good, so
All right,
good.
I believe it dropped in I want to say 2021. I think it was 2021, late 2021. And dude, this is phenomenal. I think that this is his first published work. So
Mm.
like I said, I don't consider his Kickstarters as his first work because it's not exactly released through the publishers. So that's why I went with this. So
So what you're saying is this was Godtail's first published work.
first published work. This was the
That's
first
pretty damn good, man.
dropped. All right. Yeah, dude. Like,
Negative variant. Well, it's not
and
necessarily negative, but it looks almost like a negative. It's definitely got that freaking anime vibe to it, man. Shit.
yeah, dude, because like for some reason, like I said, he takes heavy influence from anime. So, a lot of his covers, you can kind of see that, although it's made for comics, you can definitely feel the anime twist on it.
Mm.
So, next up, I believe we got our Department of Truth number 25, which was a ECGCE exclusive, I believe, and it was the Virgin variant. So even here, like you can see that it to me it has just a straight up anime vibe feel to it. But this is like definitely one that, dude, I'm currently waiting for mine because I had to go get it, dude. So, you know, going forward, dude, a lot of times when we get these artists and we see them get their first starts and their first breaks. It's usually been with your indie publishers, right? And if you always pay attention, one book to pay attention to is Heavy Metal Magazine, because a lot of these artists get almost like a spotlight in these heavy metal magazines. That's why I was so upset at first when they were going to cancel it and then they chose not to. So as of right now, dude, this is like top tier artwork for me. Because I'm prone to that anime and comic twist. And then I'm also starting to notice that other comic book artists are also, starting to try to put a little anime flair on their work. So I just want to keep a focus though on the people that I feel like brought it out to me the most, and Godtail has stood out the most to me when it comes to this combination. Even back when Marvel, um, were experimenting in their anime and manga verse, dropping that manga verse Spidey number one. But you know, a lot of these artists' work, like you can tell that either number one, they watch a shit ton of anime, right? Or I think that just growing up in places like Japan or China or Korea and these different Asian countries, their art style is always a little bit different. Now, like when it comes to Japan, I noticed that they would be like a lot more intricate in detail and they're kind of like more of a water based coloring. So, like, even in the background of this one, to me, I can see the influence of that. You know what I mean?
Right.
So I think that he also twists in some of that Japanese traditional type work,
So do you think you'll ever be on the level of like Leslie Lee or Jung Ho Lee or?
Oh, dude, I think he's already there. Like, I think that the more that people notice him, the more that he's gonna have that type of niche in the market. Because even look, the next one, um, World Tree number two, it was a Sanctum Sanctorum comics exclusive. This motherfucker is beautiful. I mean, it is off the chain to me. He got the thigh meat out. He's got the little camel toe peeking through, and she just looks like the sadistic bitch that she is. So, the way he captures some of these characters in his artwork, that's what stands out the most to me.
Mm.
When I think of these characters and then I look at his covers, I'm like, oh yeah, dude, I see exactly where he was going with this. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Rotary, good book. People just aren't reading. Period. Right now.
Yeah, dude. I mean,
Unless it's like
look at.
Red Coat. I think the only people with that book people are really reading is Red Coat right now.
Well,
Don't
yeah,
know
they're
why.
reading Red Coat, and well, I think just because the simple fact that, like, not only is it about a fucking British army member, right, Red Coat, but you have all those other universes that's entwined, and as like give you example, like James Critter said in the comments earlier, that the book of the week was going to be Red Coat number 11, which is going to be a first appearance of the Northerner. And then he also mentioned that the God Machine universe was going to be kind of like pushed together with Geiger in some way or some form or fashion.
Hmm.
So, I think that's like one of the reasons why people are on it as much as they are. But um I want to mention another thing about Godtail real quick though. He already is at the point where I feel like he's starting to get that type of recognition that people, when they see his work, they're picking it up. You know, um, there's a point that but for now, I think we're good on that. So I want to go ahead and show him next. Is this
The fuck is
this was
this?
the girl with nine tails, number one. All right. It
Oof.
was you have the regular version on the left, which was your cover eye, and then on your right, you had your Godtail naughty version, dude. So
The
it's a
origin of the furries. Go ahead.
that's what I'm saying. So like this, his style alone, you can clearly see the anime influence on his work. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
like even going back and looking at some of his Kickstarter work, it kind of resembles this to a degree, but the guy is like really awesome with detail. You know what I mean? That's another thing that I'm starting to like peep that deeper and deeper I went into looking at his work. Dude, this guy is like off the chain. Like he knows how to set the book up to
Yeah.
where you almost get this kind of like a 3D feel with the 2D art. You know what I mean? Because he does these sketch covers really well where he does like these wraparounds on different sketch variants. I shared a few on my IG, and you know he also does that well because this guy, not only is he a traditional pencil artist, right? But he can still get on the computer and whip some shit up too. So you don't really ever have to worry about this guy um copy pasting and AI doing the work for him because he is a traditional pencil worker, which is like another thing that drove me crazy about this dude's art. All right, dude, we got some more up. All right, so he did this sweet paprika. Um, Not much to say about this one. It's still dope. You know what I mean? But I wanted
Yeah.
to include it, the next couple of covers, just because I want to show you all of his current published work. So
I don't like this one.
yeah, dude,
I don't like
I
this
want
one. And so let's break this one down, right? So you've got three dudes on there, right? And well, two angels, one devil. Okay. And it's very apparent what the devil wants. The devil they care. The devil wants what he wants, right? And but you got one of the angels looking his way like, hey, what's up? That's fine. That's whatever. Angel's gonna do what angel's gonna do. But then he's almost they're both of the angels are kind of naked, right? And it's fine. That's fine. Not putting anything against that. But the outfit that is meant to display the female front meat set. Why the fuck is he wearing that? I don't
bro.
get that.
I think it's just the material that he was given for those characters. And, I can still see his style in the book. So at first, when I saw this cover, it kind of threw me off. But when I started looking and actually looking at the details, I can see the depth that I'm talking about too. So, like I said, I just wanted to put all of his published work up here because he doesn't have a whole lot. He's just really getting started, you know,
Shout out to Mighty Mel V, who is stuck at work.
my boy.
Yeah.
All
I
right.
wish I wish we could just say fuck that job, but nowadays you can't do that shit anymore.
Yeah,
All
dude.
right. Woo! Go ahead. Witchblade.
Yeah, this is on his
Front, meat,
Witchblade.
and waist all out there. Go ahead, girl.
And I add this one in there because this one kind of reminded me of Seawi, however you pronounce her name. It reminded me of that. You know what I mean? Because all her work kind of has that style, but this one, I feel like he just went all the way the fuck out and did just straight up anime style shit right here.
So
So
you
this
did.
was on that Witchblade number one. Um,
Oh, this was on number one. Not the one that came out this year.
dude, let me get the exact year for you. I believe it was on number one, dude. Let me see. Yeah, dude, it was on
Style
number
so
one.
serious, saying that cover was zesty. Which one was
It
zesty?
was
You talking about the
that sweet paprika.
sweet paprika, or you talking about that Megatron joint? Because there's no there was no discrepancy of whether it was zesty or not. Dude was pulling his never
He
mind.
had that net titty shots on.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is on Gun Honey, and definitely that Witchblade was number one. It was a Sanctum Sanctorum exclusive, so that's why you didn't see it. But because like I said, dude, Godtail, um, his like major breaks in my opinion is gonna be on Marvel in my opinion, because a lot of the indie titles that he did, this is from people that work at certain shops and they're just like, hey, dude, this shit is dope. Let me go see if we can get him on one of our exclusives. And that's how I think he got the majority of his early work. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
So when you get into his actual published work, besides the exclusives, you'll notice that his first work is actually on Marvel. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
When he was starting to get his recognition like he is now. So this also was on Gun Honey Collision. All right. And this was in number one because this was also an exclusive. Now, this
The fuck is
penthouse,
this?
this book is going for some cheddar cheese right now, bro. If I'm not mistaken, I believe they're up there like maybe about 400 for the 9.8. It was a
What the
con
fuck?
exclusive, and dude, I'm not gonna lie, like I got a chance to see one in person. This motherfucker is dope. I'm not gonna lie to you, dude. I don't know what it is about the little like weird shit, but whatever it is, dude, this shit is
Why
dope.
has it got the glowing, vibrating toy right,
Hey, dude, that
right?
that might be the reason why it's selling the way it is, dude. Like this motherfucker is selling, bro. Like, yeah, people like this for some reason, dude. I know I
Penthouse
like
Comics
it.
gonna do Penthouse Comics, I guess.
Yeah, bro. Now,
Vaporella.
now this is into his Vampirellas, dude, and he had a couple of Vampirellas out. One for Dark Reflections, and then one for Vampirella Strikes. This is the Vampirella Strikes. All right. Um, the next one is the one that I really like, dude. This one right here, dude. He got all the titty meat out. He got the crotch rocket going, dude. This piece is fine, dude. I don't know what it is about it, but I think it has such a
It's
heavy
the it's
anime
the it's the
influence.
long, big freaking tower that's coming up behind her.
Dude, that might be it
It,
too.
it's a lot of symbolic insinuation. She's covered in the moonlight, but then you got this nice, long, black, big tower coming up behind her. That's what it is. Just saying.
Yeah, dude. I just thought it was fire when I saw it, dude. And then when you kind of like get a close up on this cover, he does throw some really nice detail into his shading and his color, and then how he uses white to make things pop. So this one was definitely fire. I actually went back to get this one too. And then now those are like most of his indie titles. I wanted to get that out of the way first because everything next, it was a couple exclusives like this one, this Amazing Spider-Man #1. This was an exclusive. I picked it up. Beautiful fucking cover in person, but I feel like this was like one of those ones that I felt like, man, dude, I kind of wanted a version of this because to me it just is fucking awesome. So the second I discovered this was actually the book that made me discover Godtail. All right. After I saw this one, like I started looking for other things. And then I came across this Wolverine that we got next. Now, the
It's
Wolverine,
cute. It's cute. I'm just trying to understand why the cat's trying to bite her on the leg near the pussy. What's going on with Godtail, man?
bro, like I said, he has that anime. twist to him, bro. So that's just my
Yeah,
opinion. Now,
and in anime, a cat is never just a cat. Take that for what you want. You can say I'm crazy, but a cat's never just a cat.
never, dude.
Sorry.
But this actually was one of the first covers that was a actual like regular release regular cover. This was the first one. So after I got that exclusive, I was looking through the books of the week this came out and I saw this and I was just like, dude, this shit is fire to me, dude. I don't know what it is, but I think the way he uses his color and how he does the different shadings in the fire, how it adds like kind of a depth to it to me. So it's just fucking fire, bro. And then next, we got his magic exclusive.
Magic.
Now, I for one love this shit as well. I was a little disappointed when I found out it was an exclusive because I was really hoping this was a regular cover, even a 1 in 25. But it is what it is, and I still had to pick this shit up. This was on Magic number 1.
Her chiropractor is getting paid, boy. Look at her trying to throw that back all out. God damn.
Yeah, dude. Like I said, dude, anime influence, and you can really see it in this one to me because I'm so used to like bouncing back between the comics, the manga, and the anime that that type of shit just pops to me. Like I see it kind of before anybody else does, but apparently other people do because um his next cover, dude, this Marvel Rivals that he did with Luna Snow is fucking fire to me as well. So I don't
Pretty
know
good.
like what it is, but he is on a roll for me. Like I've been just picking up everything that I see he does. And this one kind of went under the radar for me because I didn't see it get announced. I didn't see anybody show it anywhere. Nothing.
Hmm.
And then look, that next is this is the first 1 in 25 that he has. So like if you're gonna collect his covers, then just remember this is his first 1 in 25. There's no other 1 in 25s before, and the only other regular release.
We're gonna have to have Godtail on this fucking show so I can ask him what the fuck is going on, man, because these black phallus symbols on the freaking girl covers is wild right now.
Shout out to Style So Serious. When we bring him on, cause I'm trying to schedule him now. When we bring him on, dude, we're definitely gonna deep dive into it. But so far, we've only been seeing him do covers. So I imagine he will have his first panel work. But I mean, look at artists like Kale New. It took that guy forever to ever get inside the panels, and his first panels happened to be Creep Show. It was an issue not too long ago, but Cal New did the cover and he did the interior. But my point is that it sometimes it takes a little while for these guys. I don't know if it's to get the confidence to do the inside panel work, or how their shit's set up if they're just mainly on covers. But so far, it's just been covers. This next
So,
one
so hold
sold
on.
out.
So hold on. Rockets, missiles are usually white. Why the fuck does he have these big long ass fucking missiles black?
Well,
The
I
fuck
mean,
is going
dude,
on there, Godtail?
you gotta think about it, dude. 110%, dude. This is fucking comics, bro. We don't
Yeah.
live by that real worldly shit, dude. This is fucking Marvel, bro. Every time you see fucking Iron
One
Man
missile in the front, one missile in the back. What the fuck is going on?
you don't ever see Iron Man shoot out no fucking white missiles. Even when
And
fucking
I
Iron
don't
Man
see
1.
I don't see Iron Man with white shit on his hands either. Look at that shit. Looks like she's got bukkake coming out of her fucking hands. The fuck.
Dude, that's 110% anime shit. That's what I'm saying, dude. Like, I don't know, Lucas, man. You just might not be into the anime, bro, dude. Because
I
the
am
anime,
anime. I even
dude,
had an
all,
anime.
all this
I even
shit is
I
straight
haven't
up anime meets
I even had
comics
it.
type
No,
shit.
I even had an anime podcast. I'm into anime. I'm just like, what is going on? I don't think this is inappropriate for children. What the fuck? We're gonna have to have him on. Ask him what's up with his use of colors and these phallic symbols. Because it's what the fuck, man. You got Wolverine. He's got fire and shit, but on these girls cover, there's like white shit coming out of nowhere. There's like black phallic symbols coming on the other side of the covers.
I couldn't show the other ones, dude. You know, because he does have
Look at this.
some shit out here.
So hold on, let me go back to yeah. Look at her hands, man. There's like white shit coming out of her hands. Got the Jet the Shark coming up on her from behind and shit.
And she's
Right
thick as shit, too. I'm not gonna lie.
now, that's the first time. That's the first one I saw that there's not some weird black phallic symbol behind her or some shit. Okay, I'll give this to Magic, but then there's the weird phallic thing of the whole big ass fucking sword. That's a definitely an anime fucking thing.
It reminds me of Meliodas.
Fucking my girl, he felt like there was nothing to do. Let's go ahead and put some cats biting on the pussy and shit, right? Biting on her ass and everything. Got one cat, looks like he's freaking trying to get some from behind. While she's in the freaking leather cat S&M seat.
Dude, your mind be noticing some really weird shit, dude. Cause I and when I got this book, dude, I didn't even notice the fucking cat on the book. You know what I'm saying? Like, no bullshit. Like, I got it in my hands. I was like, oh shit, this motherfucker is nice, dude. Not one time did I even notice a fucking cat was on the book.
He says, T. Jones says, I think you're reading a little into this.
Yeah, dude. Hey, now this
Here's
one,
here's 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 the thing though, right? Where's that one thing? Where is it? I went past it.
that's the beginning. We did all these.
Did these? Okay, this is the one with the tower. Towers are usually gray and brown. They're not black. They're not fucking black,
Dude,
right?
what are you talking about, dude? In anime, when you watch Fairy Tale, all you see is black castles in the background,
Yes, there's a
motherfucker.
reason for that. Go back, watch it, figure it
No,
out.
but I'm just saying. No, I'm
Especially a
just
big
saying.
black, and then usually in castles, you're usually with the freaking roundabouts, right? So somebody can freaking watch from the watchtower. No, this one looks like a freaking dildo, like one of those
Yeah,
freaking weird fucking dildos. Though it's
yeah,
like, oh, excuse me, a butt plug. This one looks like a
yeah,
fucking
yeah,
butt
dude.
plug.
T Jones is right, dude. You're on one right now. You know what I mean? Yeah, you're on
A
some dark.
big black butt plug. That's what that shit is,
See what I mean?
right?
Some dark
And
shit.
then you, and then you got these cats, but one's biting her on her ass, the other one's biting her near. Come on now. While
I
she's
see
in
what
the
I mean.
fucking leather suit.
Even dude, dude, on the
And
cover.
then missiles are
Never
white.
seen a fucking cat on the cover, dude. I didn't even notice the fucking cat, dude. I mean, and I'm wondering now, like, am I fucking blind or something, dude? Like, did I just like how the fuck did I miss that? Because like I looked at that fucking book, and I'm about to go look at them again because my lights just came, but I'm about to put all them shits up. And I'm just like, hold on, dude. Like, is it now? I'm finna go look. Like, fuck you, Lucas. You son of a bitch. Don't fuck this up for me. Let's get this Doctor Strange out the way, cause this,
Yep.
it did sell out. You know what I mean? That's why I said I don't know if people caught the wave yet, but this cover sold out like almost immediately. So I don't. I honestly, dude, I was like, I missed it at first. Like I went past it and I was like, dude, I didn't even fucking notice it at first. Then I went back and I'm like, oh shit, that's my boy. When I actually started looking at it, I'm like, okay, yeah, I need four of these too. And then next, dude, is his upcoming work. He showed one already, but I'm waiting for this motherfucker right
Dumasar.
here, dude. I'm waiting for this. This is fucking fire to me, dude. And don't you get to talking about no white shit with the lightning, motherfucker. Just
What? No,
this
because
is
I remember I said there's something weird that you got the little girls or the girls and they're in these weird positions and shit. But the guys, it's fire. No, like this one, there's freaking lightning and shit. Okay.
Yeah, but now you're gonna have me looking at that shit when he starts dropping all the new shit, cause he has like some new shit coming, dude. I've seen his name on like a lot of titles upcoming, but we don't have the cover art for it yet. But this was everything that is already like being shown that is coming up for order. You know what I mean? Um, the 1 in 25, dude. Now this thing, dude, is already selling for like 60, 70 bucks already for some reason. And I saw like a assortment of people posting this shit already. But this cover is still fire to me. Now I'm looking for white shit in the hands. Good, we're good
Yep.
on this one.
Yep.
We're
Fire. Yep.
fucking fire, dude. And then we got this last one of West Coast Avengers number 8, dude. And I like I said, dude, this anime flavor that he has to it, like the depth, like even you see the line that comes from like the bottom left hand corner back to the hand. You see how he like overlaps this shit, but I can still see the depth in it. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
It kind of gives me like that. Like, of course, it's 2D, but it gives me like a little bit of that 3D flavor. It
Depth of
pops
field.
to me for some shit, you know.
Yep.
And like I said, dude, like I've been saying for the last few weeks, these like stock photos, in my personal opinion, doesn't do justice for half of these fucking books because when I'll pass up some shit on FOC, and then when it actually comes out and I see a physical hard copy of it, it's just off the fucking chain, man. But he has some other shit that I just didn't know, we'll have to save those for when Adam's on the show. You know what I'm saying? Because we got to mix some Mickey Mouse with that shit.
Sounds like a promise, man. Sounds good, man. Can't wait to see the rest of that shit.
And then so we got to look forward to it because I think we got Godtail pretty much locked in for the show. We just got to schedule it.
Nice. Okay. Can't
He's a
wait.
he's a really cool fucking dude, and that's even more reason why I want him on because as you know, dude, with my first Instagram page, I would from what I've been told, I was doing something that a lot of people weren't doing these days, which is accrediting the artists, the writers, the editors, whatever stood out to me in the book entirety, I would always credit that person to that work on my original page, right? So I ended up building a lot of relationships with some of these artists. And one thing that I can say is that when you have some of these artists and they're just down to earth and they fuck with you just as much as you fuck with them, those are the artists that I want to spend my money on. Those are the artists that I want to talk to and meet and interview because there are some dickheads out here, you know. Let's get that out the way because I've come across a couple of big name dickheads. I don't want to get into it because I might run across these motherfuckers at a show again and they might, decide to hop on too. But, you know, they're out here.
You're out there. All right, man. Freaking. But otherwise, that was a good job, man. Can't wait to see the rest of your stuff and what else you got to freaking show us. Um, I think that's it. I don't think we got anything else to freaking talk
No,
about,
that's it,
man.
dude.
We can.
I just wanted to go ahead because I saw that people are starting to notice Godtail, right? And I've been ranting and raving about him in our group chats for fucking a few weeks now, right? So I just wanted to go over his published shit so that people, if they want it or want to check it out, they can go get it. You know what I mean? Because I think that as time goes on, he's only going to get better. You know what I mean? And sometimes when these artists do their covers, when they actually do the art and then they see the final product of their art, right? They start to see like little things that they want to do differently and do better or not do better. So, let's just see cuz I think his style is going to evolve over time.
Yeah, man. Freaking this stuff is good, man.
What's up
Can't
with
wait.
this titty meat?
That's Gottail.
Gotta Tell 2? Is this on
Hmm.
FLC right now?
No, it was 2021. It was canceled.
Oh, yeah,
So there
dude.
is one version where it had her in a suit, and then this one, and then this one, right? And
The whole book was canceled, right?
I think at least issue number 5 of "I Make Boys Cry" was canceled.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah,
I've been
little
noticing that, dude.
schoolgirl
I mean,
outfit
even
action.
fucking Marvel runs are getting canceled right now. So,
Good, good. We don't need freaking 32 in 1 week.
no, we don't, dude. Uh, that shit is overwhelming when you gotta read it all. All right, motherfucker.
All
Fantastic
right.
motherfucking show.
Yeah, we'll see you guys next week, or maybe we'll see you on Adam's freaking show sometime, either Tuesday or Wednesday or some shit like that. But otherwise, you guys have a good weekend, and if you guys need anything, holler at us. We're out.
For each man his time is pain, until he walks along the beach and sees his future.